This culture has been going on for way too long for it to be a coincidence. And he's fulfilling all of the signs, the telltale signs of the same people that practice it. The man is a puppet. That's undeniable. He is a puppet. Like, I don't even want him to go, like, if he goes to jail for these degenerate shit that he's done, you know, that's cool. I'd be cool with him just going to jail in general for the part that he plays in just poisoning the culture, just poisoning, like, the people that listen to his music. Because that does, if anything, that does more damage long term.
Every rapper or
where are they? Where is it seated? Have you noticed how rap changed since the late 90s? Since Bad Boy came in?
NWA has nothing to do with it?
NWA was the pot stirrer. Yes. NWA was the pot stirrer for that. Ever since 1991.
Before we start today's episode, we'd like to give a little moment of silence. Over the weekend, we lost one of the GOATs, creator of shows like Dragon Ball Z, the whole spiel, anime prodigy.
I even love the filler episodes, bro. You know, even though it took 5 episodes for them to fight, man, it built character. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, let's give a quick moment of silence for Akira Toriyama. Let's get on to the show.
You know, Candace Owens is like the Vegeta of...
Hello, welcome to the Fourth Wall Podcast Show. We're back with another episode where you're certified and qualified host. SeeJayy the architect, my boy Tausifur the philosopher right here.
Hey, what up, y'all? Hey, go add me on my new IG.
He got a new IG.
Hots got some sauce. The graphic might be there. I'm gonna play it a lot careful now before I go scorched earth.
Yeah, you gotta do like the John Morant stuff. You gotta take it easy for a while.
Yeah, against a certain people.
Before he come back to the league. But yeah, you can follow me at SeeJayy_the_kid. That's 2 D's on Instagram, X, everything. Cause it's original. That's my original thing. So I got all the tags. And you can follow the podcast itself at the Fourth Wall Show on Instagram. But yeah, episode 3, little by little, we getting there. 3s, Before we start, disclaimer again, we got to tell you guys this. They make us tell you guys this, but
legal purposes, man.
Yeah, so you guys know the drill. The following program delves into sensitive political, moral, and religious topics. The host's unique perspectives may challenge traditional viewpoints and provide thoughtful conversations, but that's the point. Viewer discretion is advised, as the content is intended for mature audiences who appreciate nuanced discussions on complex subjects. The content discussed here is for entertainment purposes only. So remember that, okay? Entertainment purposes only. Yeah, tonight we got some interesting topics. My boy Toss, he got the green light to go ahead on all that. Before we start though, I don't know, are you familiar with the show Love is Blind?
I've seen it on Netflix a couple times.
It's one of those shows, man. Like I don't know if you ever seen the movie. What's it called? Sorry to Bother You, with Lakeith.
Yeah,
the like horses and stuff.
Isn't that like Indian matchmaking but with autistic people?
Nah, that's Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, what's the wrong thing? Okay.
That's Love on the Spectrum or something. Love is Blind is when they can't see each other. They're like in those rooms.
Okay.
Like some futuristic like pods or something like that. But it's one of those shows where it's like you watch those movies and they have like those shows where people are getting like beat up.
Yeah.
And that's like the most popular show. Like they have those random shows where it's like, oh yeah, there's this show where people get pooped on by cows. That's the most popular. And people are like, what? That's, it's just, it's making fun of Americans, in the future. Yeah. And we're here. We have television just sort of like, what the hell is this? Like Squid Games. Like, we really gonna have a knockoff of the actual show? Like, do you guys know what the actual show was about? And here we are making a live action, game show about it. So anyway, this Love is Blind show. It's one of those shows where it's for women, basically. It's like their version of like The Bachelor. It's like seasonal. You know how men, we have our sports.
Mm-hmm.
We have football. We have basketball. It's this thing with Americans. We love this process of elimination where there has to be a winner. American Idol. Oh, vote for who you want to win. Everyone wants to see a loser and a winner. Everything. So girls have theirs, guys have theirs. This is one of those girl things where it's like every season there's a love is blind, love is blind, love is blind. I'm with my John, It's one of those shows where I'm like, yeah, put that on. If I know I'm sleepy, I'm like, yeah, put that on. We'll watch that because I know I'm about to knock out. It doesn't matter. If I'm actually going to stay up, I'm like, oh, I got the actual show. I want to watch a good movie or something like that. But this is one of those days I'm like, okay, I'm tired. Yeah, put it on. I'm laying there dozing off the whole time. She's like, guys are so stupid. You know, because on the show, it's like a guy like, oh, you know I love you, baby. It's like, as soon as you saw me, like, you started acting differently. Like, in the pods, like, you were so sweet. Now that you see me on this island, like, you've been acting differently. I see how you look at Katie, blah, blah. I'm like, she's like, oh, my God, guys are so stupid. I'm like, what are you? That's the point of the show. Like, if I was on a show like that, I'd be wilding out, too. Yeah. Like, all those shows are like, oh, get in a house, you know, with guys and girls to see who gets to get. I'm like, put me on those shows. I'm gonna act wild, too. It
sounds like a cope, though. Like, anytime I hear, like, shawty say, like, guys are so stupid. Well, sometimes I feel like they don't put themselves in our shoes sometimes. Because a show with that type of premise, like Love is Blind, think about this, man. I'm not speaking about myself. I'm speaking about a majority of guys out there that may have this mentality. If you're in a show like that, you hear somebody on the other side that you cannot see, and they talk in a certain type of way with a nice voice and everything, and then it's revealed shawty looked like she built like a duffel bag. Or how you gonna feel, man?
And it's like the first season when they came out with it, it was pretty genuine, you know. But then it's like you can't be bringing in these like really like good looking people, and then they give them like their they have their title, their age, like their name, age, their job profession. They got some random dude you probably see like doing some janitorial work like at some local like weed shop, 24, and it says he's a principal of a middle school or elementary school. What? No, come on, man. 24 principal of a no, come on. Let me see the background. Where's his background? So you can just be a principal now? Sign me up. Because I want to be a principal.
The bigger question is, what's the curriculum going on at that school, man? Putting 24 years
It's
old.
like, at this point, it's just like, come on now. It's just gotten to that point where it's like, let's just get these random dudes, paint a story. It's not real. She's like, oh, guys are so dumb. Like, can't he see that she wants his, like, attention? I'm like, first off, you wouldn't want a guy like that from the show. Like, you obviously see what's going on. All this is fake. But they get women to think like, oh, I want a guy. So the guy who actually is doing the good guy of the show, they're like, oh, I want a guy like that. I want a guy like that. It's like, do you not see what's going on here? Well, and even then, the guys can see like he's playing it off. He's just trying to look like the good guy. But girls are like, oh, yeah, he's so, I want a guy like that. It's like, oh, my God. Well, it's one of those shows where it's like, I hate when a girl watches this show because it's like, damn, now she's going to start. Oh, my gosh, why can't you be like this? It's like, oh, my gosh.
The thing is, though, the way you're explaining it right now, you could say that. I haven't seen the show, but just from you explaining it.
You got to check it out. Just for, it's entertaining.
Sure, but the thing is this, though. The key word there, entertainment. Exactly. It accomplishes a lot of goals there, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you can be infuriated by it, but the formulas that make up that show, again, what is media? What is the things that are being pushed on Netflix? It's propaganda to the macro level. So when you throw, brain-numbing shit like this, it's not necessarily geared toward, like, your type of audience. It's for the less critically thinking type of people. Again, it's one of those...
Oh, The Bachelor.
It's a distraction tool.
ABC tonight. Check out who's gonna get eliminated. It's like, come on, man. Like,
but it accomplishes the goal. Look at the formula in it, though. Like you said, American Idol. What did that do back in first time it came out, 2002 or something like that? The phenomenon that it created.
She bang.
You get these people that are in like these everyman type of backgrounds, and there's gonna be people out here that are gonna resonate with certain type of characters on that show.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
But again, these reality shows. If you still thinking these reality shows are real and not engineered, that's a different story entirely.
I don't want to put anyone on blast, but I knew somebody close to me in my family, in my household, who used to watch, still watches, Love and Hip Hop, Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of Chicago, all that stuff. And he's just into, I'm like, bro, like, what are you trying to learn here? Like the lingo, like how to act ratchet, like that's the only thing you're getting out of this. Like, it's not entertaining either. Like, it makes you frustrated. It's like, why are you watching? They're purposely putting these,
degenerates.
They're purposely putting this, I don't know, trying to spin this whole thing like, oh, black people are, like, they be wilding. Like, okay, cool, but it's just like y'all kind of it's set up. It's like a controlled environment.
Yeah, but it's
It's like,
cathartic.
hey, Keisha, I need you to go to the coffee shop at 10 o'clock. Why? Just do it. We'll have the cameras ready. Not knowing that Tina's there with Felicia and they hate her and they're about to, it's like, oh, come on, y'all setting her up. Like, y'all just trying to.
Yeah, but it's cathartic though. It's like people watch it. They watch it to hate watch it. Like, we're not gonna act like we didn't watch Jersey Shore.
Oh, I love Jersey Shore.
Look, I'm a big fan of Hell's Kitchen, MasterChef, man. I love those shows.
Hell's Kitchen, yeah.
I always look for the dude that, like, we always like that one person on that show that we're just like, I want that person to win. He's probably not going to win because there might be an agenda on the show. And sometimes, more often than not, the winner never usually makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? Just recently, because my TV is set to like a certain like channel on like the default thing. And it's Hell's Kitchen. So whenever I turn on the TV, it's Hell's Kitchen. So sometimes I'm just like kind of watching like the reruns. And you can notice like this whole stuff is like scripted. Like it's just one of those things where watching now, like as a, when you see things now, you're like, damn, as a kid, I didn't really notice that stuff. Hey, bro, but now you're watching, I'm like, why do they have a camera in the damn refrigerator thing when they go to, I'm like, what? Like, just for him to yell at somebody like, what's going on? I'm like, after the show, Ramsey is probably like, guys, please, I don't want to scream at these people anymore. Please. They're like, no, you must do it. That's your job. No, but listen. And he has to go into Gary's like.
If you watch these shows enough time to the point where you can almost know who's going to win the show, you know what I'm saying? Because there's one season in MasterChef, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was rooting for the black dude to win, all right? It came down to, like, the finalists. And once I noticed, like, damn, man, they got this blind chick in here who could cook. She's probably going to win the fucking show, bro. Because they want her to be like honestly, man, if we really talk about technicalities, black dude could cook better than that bitch. I'm be real with you, all right? Some of her dishes look kind of nasty, all right? A lot of seafood dishes. I don't think,
Well, she can't see. She's probably not really, she doesn't really
right, but just that whole element, she can't see, she's blind, but she's cooking. What an inspiration. Probably going to win the show. Lo and behold, won the show. All right.
Hey, it makes sense. She probably her other senses, like she can smell.
Yeah, that's how they sold it, man. But hey,
like with the seasoning.
She had an assistant though. Did the black dude have an assistant? That's all I'm saying, man.
Oh, the assistant probably the one who was whipping it up.
It's a caveat. But they didn't want to go too much into it. You know what I'm saying?
Get behind the scenes on that season, but I feel you on that. But yeah, just interesting, man. It's just one of those crazy. It's like we're at that age where all those shows they were talking about, like, oh, these crazy, throw a pie at somebody, and everyone's like, it's like we now have those kind of shows now.
These are all propaganda
like
tools.
Boo the Fool type of shows. So like,
no, but these are propaganda tools, But certain propaganda,
I understand it though. People use it for clout. It's a chance to go.
It's not even as much for clout. It's more about like this is a formula that's been working a lot for decades to attract viewers. You get what I'm trying to say? Where nowadays it's getting a lot more difficult for people that are in like the TV and movie industry because people are getting their content a lot from social media now. So organized media, they're kind of like trying to go above and beyond to create new forms of content to get more eyes. Propaganda. But if you want to get into it, tools of propaganda, I mean, just kind of getting into the next topic thing that's been kind of going on throughout the news cycles with the whole Ryan Garcia, people trying to label him as like he was tweaking out on Twitter Spaces, talking about there's a whole, that he was like getting abused, and there's people in these secret cabals, abusing children and stuff like that, Bohemian Grove type of shit, and saying a lot of stuff, man. And hey, I ain't gonna lie, look.
He said it happened to him when he was younger?
Happened to him when he was a child. He was forced to watch it, and he's got video evidence. How old is he now? He's like 25, 26. He's got 2 kids of his own now.
He was groomed into this position he has now?
Right. Apparently. I mean, that's what he's saying. But the thing is this, too, though. It's like he's saying a lot. It's getting exposure. There's a lot of people that are kind of like galvanized into that movement, like people that are in like that truth sphere, you know what I mean? People that are like deep into underneath the iceberg, that are already like, conspiracy theorists or whatever. I don't like that term conspiracy theorist, man. I like the term pattern recognitionist, okay? Because these are patterns that you just can't ignore. But he's speaking on it. Big person with a big platform, big following. Now, a lot of people in that sphere are backing him up, giving him support. You know, it goes a long way when somebody like that of that influence can speak on it. I mean, on the Twitter space that Andrew Tate was hosting, brought him on, and he was just like going in. Y'all can look it up
on X.
Man, fuck X. But y'all can look it up, man. Y'all can look it up. He was saying what he was saying, and just Andrew Tate in general, bro. Like just I like when things like this happen. I love to see the responses of how other people of influence react, because then you start to see who are the sellouts, who are the ones that could possibly be a part of this shit, and who's actually being for real about it. Because when once he said what he said, he was like, "I don't give a fuck anymore. They're raping kids, they're killing them, da da da." Andrew Tate's first response was, "Where?" If that ain't the most fed shit I heard, man. Because Andrew Tate, man, look, he might have a lot of people fooled, okay, and me personally, man, and looking into Andrew Tate and his history stuff, he's like the main guy, poster child for thinking outside the matrix. I just didn't like the way you reacted to that. If you're all about thinking outside the matrix,
first, I don't think he's the poster child for it. He was just in an era, or he was part of a.
I just think it's controlled opposition, regardless, man.
But remember, he got in trouble the first time, so
yeah,
he's probably
they made a whole
like, oh, they probably did something to him. He's like, no, I'm not doing that again. Or he's a clone.
Oh, they probably got him on tape for some, but. At the same time, that's how it is with most of these dudes. Yeah, they got you on tape for something.
Yeah, they got some, yeah.
Yeah, and then, you got to kind of play ball. So, he said it on there, too. He was just kind of like, I'm going through a case right now, so I can't really speak about it how I want to, but I'm going to let you cook. And it's just funny seeing all these people come out, like, anytime something like this happens.
So how do you avoid that? How do you, unfortunately, we don't have an expert. If you consider yourself an expert, or someone who is an expert, or if you are an expert who would like to come on the show, you can always hit us in the comments or DM us. But just off your knowledge, what are some things you can do to avoid, how we're assuming that, hey, maybe they got something on Andrew Tate. So do you just have to try and be clean your whole life just so that it's like, oh, y'all can never have anything on me? Because even if that's the case, can't they just, they can always plant something, set something up, like if they got the access to all this stuff.
Well, that's the thing. That's one
Nowadays,
way to try.
AI.
Well, yeah.
AI voices and
probably going to change the game a lot, but that's one way to try to do it, is to go as clean as possible. Keep your circle small. Do not mingle whatsoever. Yeah. Never go to a party and drink nothing over there. If you didn't see them pour it, if you didn't see them roll it, don't drink it or smoke it.
Okay, yeah, I can agree.
That's rule number one, should be always. But at the same time, it's very tough to do when you're in an industry like that, where it's all about networking, all about collaborations and meeting people and working with them and stuff like that. It's tough. You got to keep a small circle. But this is what the industry is like, just the entertainment sphere. Like, they have to do shit like that. It works off of blackmail and leverage. Once you have leverage and you are able to blackmail somebody off of some shit that they might have done, you might have caught them on tape doing some weird shit, you got that. You own them. Now they got to play ball.
That's true. And a lot of young dudes
impressionable minds
who aren't, they're in it for that, this lifestyle and stuff. They get caught up in that one, hey, let's go to the club. It's like, oh, yeah.
There you go.
Start, hey, man, I got some drinks. I got some hoes. It's like, okay, yeah. And then, oh, yeah, that girl was actually, she said she was 18. It's like, even then, it's like, what?
Even then, man, you skating on the edge there, bud. So, that being said, man, like, impressionable minds, once you become somebody of influence, you're going to see a lot of people start to come out the woodwork.
Yeah, because they're kind of like agents. Like, the industry sends these agents like, yeah, hey, get that. Try and get him, involved in some things. Hey, let's get Drake to, they're not going to say no to Drake. If Drake says, let's go out, they're going to say, yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Drake, yeah. That's how they get you.
They got to, so these people of influence, they always have to prop them up. That's
what cosigns are.
Right.
Cosigns are like, oh, this is the agent who,
Again, I would believe status is a bigger currency than actual money, especially in that type of like entertainment or music industry.
Would it? Because what if you have a lot of money but no status? Isn't that cool though?
If you have a lot of money and no status, you still have the money to buy out someone of status to compensate for that lack of status. That's what most of the people that own these music labels do. They don't have the status, but they have the money and the financial backing to buy out somebody like Drake, to buy out somebody like, you know, somebody of influence. You know what I'm saying? To use them as a puppet to push your... Exactly.
I got you.
So, you know, with Ryan Garcia, here's the thing, though. He's saying a lot of things, okay? But for people that are, like, really deep into this shit, he's not really saying anything new, all right? So my thing is this. Is it genuine? Is it a tactic for, like, promo for the fight coming up? Or is it both?
I do have a personal opinion on that.
That's why we're here, man.
I feel like we've gone to that time where it's like, I think I talked about it. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the show, but we've gone to that time where it's like now the industry or media, the higher ups are recognizing like, oh, people are using like Illuminati and conspiracies, and they're starting to catch on if it is, you know, if it is real, if it's a thing. Now they're using it as like content, like, oh, let's put in movies like, oh, he's Illuminati. Like now they're playing around with it, like, oh yeah, you guys caught us, you know. So I think it's like one of those things where it's like, now let's use it to make money. Mm-hmm. Same way they used it with, you know, the culture. Oh yeah, rap music. Oh yeah, let's use it to sell now. Like now it's cool. Let's use it to sell. They did it with you know, LGBTQ. Now it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of let's use it to sell. Now it's in TV. Now it's, you know, clothing and parades and merch and stuff like that. So now it's come to that thing where it's like, now we see that demographic of people who are like, oh, conspiracies. Oh, you know, there's this is going on like behind the scenes. This is real and all that.
It's hot now.
So now they're like, okay, now let's make people like faces of that brand. Mm-hmm. You know, people like a Mike Tyson, who actually he has a fight with Jake Paul coming up.
Abuse.
Randomly, why? Like, why you, Mike?
The fight no one asked for.
Why Mike, man?
See that dude walking in a cane the other day, man. What the hell's going on, bro? So stupid.
Oh man, but hey, it's to sell, right? I'm gonna watch it. That's Mike Tyson. I want to see him knock out the white boy.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
I want to see him knock out the white boy. They know they got both demographics. There's people who don't like Jake Paul. They probably want to see him get knocked out. And then we got the people who probably want to see Jake Paul knock out a legend, Mike Tyson. Win-win.
You mean knock out a senior citizen? Because, you know, however way you want to look at it, I guess. But
you know how they're gonna paint it. You know how they're gonna paint it. They ain't gonna They're gonna be like, that's Mike Tyson. I knocked out a legend. It's like, nah, come on.
Again, you're right. So any type of you know, like, it is in fashion right now. You get what I'm trying to say? Conspiracy theorists and, you know, talking about stuff like this.
Sell. Yeah, they're trying to make it like a brand, like, oh, these people fall in this category. So I think they're trying to use Ryan Garcia as like there
you go.
The box. It's a new age of, you know, how to sell. He's a young, you know, and again, that he said, oh yeah, when I was a kid. So maybe this has always been the plan. They're like, oh, we're gonna make him like the.
I'll say this too. Like, there's certain telltale signs of that I have noticed of possible controlled opposition. Okay, when it comes out of the blue, that's one thing. When it's being done for a possible capital gain, that's another thing. Has he fulfilled both of those things? Yes. Shit came out of the blue. All right. Ryan Garcia wasn't like this before. He wasn't like this before. I mean, I don't know how long he's been doing business with Oscar De La Hoya, but Oscar De La Hoya, you know, stories about him, all right.
So then what snaps? What snaps? Because he wasn't like this before.
I don't know, man. Oscar De La Hoya do a lot of coke, so there's that. But that being said, you know, it kind of came out of the blue. He's got a fight coming up. It's promo for that. The other thing is this. You're not telling us anything new. And if you were really about it, you would have dropped something by now. You get what I'm trying to say?
I call cap.
I'm you know what? I'm calling cap too.
Yeah, because it's like, you're talking the same stuff that we already know. Right. So it's like, again, it's the higher ups. They're like, oh yeah, let's make this guy a brand ambassador, blah, blah, blah. But they don't want to give out too much information. They're like, let's just give out the basic stuff. Like they're trying to give this to the mainstream public now. So they're like, let's just give them the basic stuff. We're already ahead. So we're like, what? This is, you know what I'm talking about? It's like when you go into a classroom where you already did the basic, you know, like a math 102, but you already did math.
You coming out with rookie numbers.
Yeah, you're already like, wait, I already know this stuff. But the other people who haven't seen it before, this is still new to them. So that's kind of how they're pushing it. So to us, we're like, what with it? So I think that's the way we know, like,
he's
okay,
just trying to appeal.
This is some basic stuff. Because if it was real, he would say some, you know, actual.
He's trying to be edgy and he's trying to appeal to the fringe crowd.
Yeah.
But the people that are like really, really about it starting to notice, like, well, you're not saying anything that we don't know about. The other thing is this too. You
like
haven't.
Andrew Tate said. He said, "Where?"
You haven't named them. You haven't named them. All right. If you don't name them, we still this is only our third episode, so we gotta play it safe, man.
As long as it ain't Floyd.
If you ain't named them people, then you know we don't.
Yeah,
really,
if you ain't gonna say, just stop talking.
We
man. Go
can't
fight.
really validate it.
Go fight.
Yeah,
probably trying to get out the fight.
Look, it's accomplishing his goal. He's getting a lot of people that are gonna back him up. You know what I'm saying?
Back him up. Now
he's getting a lot of people within that fringe crowd. They're like, oh, he's a truther too. You know, so
I'll say this: if this is to get hype for the fight,
mission accomplished.
It's working. Yeah, it's working. He's gonna go fight, but if he gets knocked out, it's over. You got to go win. Well,
that's the other thing too, where it's like if he gets knocked out, that also accomplishes the goal of the people that are pushing this narrative, because now it's like you're trying to build him up to be this. He's calling himself someone anointed by God, by Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
I guess in the sense of he's a villain.
Not a villain. They're trying to build him as the hero, where it's like, I'm a soldier of God. I've been anointed by the blood of Jesus. He's saying this stuff on his Twitter sphere, so it's like it's even more symbolic.
But it's
if
more.
He gets knocked out,
it's more in a crazy.
No, but if he gets knocked out, all the people that are watching that can possibly get, like what's it called? Depressed about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, like. It's a blow to them too. You're kind of putting a blow to that community as well. I feel like he has
to win. If he goes out and loses, and it's.
I ain't gonna lie. Look, bro. If I put my money on it, I'm putting my money on Haney. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like you can say all that stuff.
Or his team says, "Hey, we can't do the fight anymore. Like something's wrong." Because how you gonna watch your boy go crazy? Pretty much, some broke that he just went like, "Okay, I'm gonna go say all this stuff." If it's not a ploy to get views,
I just think it's engineered, man.
That's what I'm saying. So it's all cap. It's all cap.
There's a video of him supposedly he's speaking in tongues. All right, and look, anytime I see somebody speaking in tongues,
how was the video though? Was it like one of his boys or?
No, it was him like on a recorded thing speaking in tongues. I look, you lost me on that, man, because I read the Bible. When you speak in tongues, it doesn't talk about speaking in a bunch of gibberish bullshit. It was talking about speaking in the Paleo Hebrew language. That ain't sound like no Paleo Hebrew to me. So I'm with you on this one. We agree. I'm going cap on that.
Cap.
But speaking of, just delving more into like what he was opening up, just kind of opening up the floodgates to the patterns and to the culture of this weird satanic shit going on in the industry. A lot of things that are in the dark start to come to the light. When we talking about Diddy and what's going on with him, a lot of shit that was in the dark coming into light with the latest, allegations coming out. And here's the thing about Diddy, man.
Leave Diddy alone.
For 30 years straight, man. 30 years straight. You ain't been able to dodge these allegations, man. It's been going on for this long, bruh. Look, I'm just going to read to you some of the claims, man. Dude came out and he's talking about he has so much power in this industry to the point where he has someone killed in the studio, got away with it. He has this dude named, his name is Fahim Muhammad, who he hits up anytime some shit goes on. This guy, he hits him up to clean up a scene because apparently this dude has connections with the police department over there. So files a fake police report saying the dude got shot outside of the studio. The press releases a story that says he was shot outside the studio.
If you know this,
got brushed.
Don't you think the police would know this?
No, but here's the thing. Yeah, but what do you? Okay, you act like the police are just run by a whole righteous group of people. The person that's the chief of police, I can guarantee you more than likely he's a Freemason. All right, they're all part of the same cult. Okay, it's been going on for this long.
In Diddy's defense, if this
wow,
is true,
man, he said in Diddy's defense, bruh. Damn, this gonna get hot.
If this is true, maybe the person wasn't that important.
Well, let me
Not
finish.
to say killing anyone is.
Hold on, man.
But we watch all these mafia
let me
movies.
finish down.
When mafia bosses do it, we're like, oh, that's cool. Scarface. He
Okay,
just killed,
cool, but
Al Capone. Oh, he's a blah, blah. When a real boss does it, let's not, hey, let him.
Well, let
do
me
it.
finish
Like
the
he has
list
that
of
much
claims.
power.
All right,
He has that much power. Hey,
let me finish the list of claims and keep that same energy.
maybe the dude was a. You don't know what.
So here's
he was
the
a
thing.
drug dealer. He was just getting him off the streets.
Let me finish the list of claims. Here's the other thing, man. He was doing freak offs with underage kids, throwing events used as blackmailing opportunities that they may use as leverage to own certain artists. This specific person, freak offs, having these parties in the hills and wherever he's at. He was literally paying his assistant to have drugs in hand, whether it be gummies or whatever it might be, spiking people's drinks at the parties and stuff like that. To have them under the influence, to have them in jeopardizing situations. He had cameras all over his place too. Okay. So he always had people on tape. So it goes back, tying into to that satanic culture, even in Hollywood with the whole Weinstein shit. This man, he was doing the same shit. He had, and there was specific verbiage within these claims in the court documents. The person is claiming he has video evidence, pictures, recordings. He named people without naming them. He said, Diddy, part of his his whole routine is to have these artists do like compromising sexual stuff. One of them that he named was a rapper from Philadelphia that dated Nicki Minaj. A little on the nose, we know who that is. Might as well name him. Another one was an R&B artist that performed at the Super Bowl. It's pretty much everybody, but this was more specific to Usher. So again, one more thing, okay, and then
oh no, man,
the other dude that was here. So there's this guy named Lucien Grange. Okay, Lucien Grange. You look into this dude, you'll never hear about him unless somebody actually talks about him. He's the person that owns Universal Music Group. Yeah, pretty much owns all the labels. All right. Happens to be a Jewish guy. Take that as how you may, okay?
I mean, they pretty much own everything. So.
Oh, yeah, look, you said it. Anyways, this guy would pull up to Diddy's house every so often. Okay. And from what it claims, they would go into his room and be there for hours.
Talking business.
7 hours talking business? Just you two?
Hey, man.
Sometimes dude comes out with a robe on?
It does. Look at where he's at. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to put in that work.
You know what? And look, man, you the homie and everything. You be giving me Fed vibes sometimes, all right? Now, I can't tell if this is for content or not.
I'm just, my parents always said I'd be a good lawyer.
You friends with Diddy?
Hey, Diddy, I'm trying to be friends with
you. Man.
Hit up the show. Hit up the show, man. We'd like to have you on.
Look, it's coming. I'm cool off that. Just don't sit next to me. So, again, it's just going into just this practice of sexual blackmail ring operating in Hollywood music industry.
No one's,
again,
no one's came out, though?
Huh?
No one's came out?
Dude just came out. He just came out.
Real... You said Meek.
What happened?
Usher,
what happened?
Like, has anyone... if it's been with all these popular artists...
What you think Meek Mill's going... Meek Mill was on Twitter. He was on Twitter and he was... Dude protest too much. You ever heard that saying?
Yeah.
Hey, ain't doing no favors for the allegations.
He's always been like that. But
it's like... He's always been like that, bro.
It's like, come on, like...
The video of him calling him daddy? Come on, man.
It's a different... You
can't dodge these allegations, bro.
This isn't like the Harvey Weinstein...
It's just like that.
Hold on.
Exactly like that.
It's not the same community.
It is.
Where it's like, again, we had the Oscars, remember? Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Were there any cops? No. At the Grammys, though, with the Killer Mike situation, there were cops, right? This is music. Diddy, what? So if that's the case, why aren't other artists coming like saying, yeah, Diddy did that? Like, why aren't blacks? Because it's mostly blacks, right? In that
what
community,
makes you think those artists aren't also compromised? What makes you think those artists aren't also compromised?
I'm just saying it's a different community.
What you mean? It's not a different community. It's the same community. It's entertainment. It's propaganda.
The more where it's like the Harvey Weinstein thing, it was like, nah, these are people who have, if they come out crying like, oh my gosh, like something, people are going to be like, okay. Blacks are not like that. So we have a different way of settling stuff. It's just that stuff is like not.
It's
not,
even more compromising because now it's in music. And what does Diddy do? The type of brand of music he does, degenerate, gangster type shit. You know, so if you're somebody that puts on that charade of like, oh, I'm from the streets and shit like that, and you come out and be like, yeah, I got fucked in the ass. What you think's gonna happen? What's that gonna do for you?
Sure, but again,
so everybody is compromised.
It's a different. We got Lil Nas X out here now. Like
you bring up a good point. You bring up a good point. Remember when he did that whole performance at BET?
Yeah.
Remember Diddy? He went on Twitter. Lil Nas did that. Does that do any favors for his allegations?
He's supporting his fellow black artists coming up.
Okay, look, this is kind of weird because the last subject we was talking about, you had that whole energy. You know what I'm saying? The way you switched up on this one, man. Like I known you for all 15 years, dog.
We're not gonna agree on everything, you know. I'm just saying. I would hope when I'm hearing Diddy is not true.
You really want that record deal? You really want that record deal, bro?
I've been a fan of Bad Boy. I'm not going to lie.
Been a fan of Bad Boy?
I've been a fan of Bad Boy records, man.
Let's see if you're still a fan. Let's see what's going on to join Bad Boy.
I'll go on record saying that, okay? But I'm just that type of person. Just because, you know, I hear something until it's true, and then you can come back and be like, hey, how do you feel? And then I'll give you, you know, a different opinion.
All I can tell you is this.
I'm just going to say I hope it's not true.
I live in the Hollywood area. I seen this man in a public place. I seen this man in a public place. I dare not try to crack conversation with him. First dude I seen him in, like, he went and dapped somebody up and then got a little too touchy with him. Wasn't gonna do it. Felt the energy.
You saw the Halloween videos when it was Joker, and then
even that
and the Batman stuff.
See,
and,
for somebody to even, here's the thing. Here's why I say
everyone fucks with him though. Tyler the Creator was fucking with him. Like,
what you think Tyler the Creator is? What you think Tyler the Creator is?
Okay,
see, you just keep naming celebrities that are all in the same cabal.
Okay.
Of course they're gonna be fucking with each other because they literally fucking with each other.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know.
Man, I thought we was, you know. Hey, look, all I can say is from what the evidence shows and from what the patterns that I'm recognizing, okay, there is indeed a fruit booty gang that is in the music industry. When you think about the power of music.
If that's the case, you just said, oh, if you come out, you can't be gangster if you got effed in the ass. It's like, okay, well, if all y'all doing it, what's the problem? Like, y'all fruit booty gangers. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, the problem.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There is a problem with it. Otherwise, they'd be coming out and embracing it like that.
Just be comfortable. Just be comfortable in your own skin, okay? If you're a fruit booty ganger, own it.
The problem is
there are a lot of them out there that it's like, go ahead. Like,
here's the thing. The problem is this. When you come out as that and you're still an artist and you're trying to push that propaganda, music is propaganda. Music, the type of music, at least the type that he promotes, the degenerate type of shit, where it's like slide up on the ops, where it's like, yeah, I just fucked this bitch and type of shit.
That just means you're not a real artist.
It doesn't.
That just means you're not a real artist.
Most of these artists ain't real artists. But here's the thing. It doesn't do any favors for the brand that you're trying to push, you know?
That's true. And if you're not a real artist, then yeah, it affects you because now you have to be branded a certain way. And if you're already being a certain way, like you're saying, like, oh, I'm from the streets. So yeah, that doesn't make sense.
This is what I'm saying too, though. It goes back to kind of being a testament to my claims. And these claims, Diddy's influence as the person that set that culture since the 90s of that type of destructive music, not only to the mass population, but especially to the black community of pushing, glorifying shit like that. He's like a very integral instrument for the music industry because he's one of the few guys in there that will literally, he not only has he sold his soul, he'll sell anybody out for a buck. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm gonna come out here saying, look, okay, allegedly, there are people out here that think he played a part in assassinating Tupac, assassinating Biggie. So if he's capable of doing shit like that, what won't he do? Running a predatory sex cult within the music industry?
I don't think he runs a sex
with
cult.
a bunch of fruit booties.
Do I believe there's some weird stuff going on? Sure, of course, there has to be
some,
but I don't believe it's to that extent. I just feel like, sure, like you're saying, like, oh, he got all this power. Yeah, you got all that power. You gonna play dirty. Right?
Look, man,
you gonna play dirty.
I guess I'm speaking to the people. The stuff that I'm trying to say, it may not appeal to the people that are still in like the surface level type shit. I'm talking more to the people that are below that iceberg. Like a couple depths below. Now you over here, the way you're taking this information, you know what I'm saying? You coming off a little bit normie, bordering along Fed lines a little bit, man. But it's all good. But at the end of the day, I would just say do your own research. Do your own research.
I've done the research.
You haven't done the research. You ain't done the research. You definitely ain't done the research.
I don't want to hear somebody saying, "Oh, yeah, I heard from Meek Mill." It's like, okay, well, let me hear from them.
I would have to question your judge of character if you would even consider like Diddy being like a normal person.
I didn't say he's normal. I'm just saying.
What kind of person do you think he is?
I just said he's.
You go to his house? He hit you up in the middle of the night. He say, "Come through, man." He's at that position
where he can get away with some things, but I don't think it's gotten to that point where it's like Harvey Weinstein type. Now, yeah, we might find out again. You may be right. Maybe in a couple months, Diddy was found. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. And then I'll be like, damn, Diddy, like,
it's coming.
You know. As of right now,
that Cassie case. They settled quick. They settled on it quick. So all the allegations when you settle something, okay.
But again, we watched the movie Wolf of Wall Street when he was getting away with all that stuff. Where we're like, oh man, blah, blah. No, he's a boss. Oh, look at how he's playing the system. Let's do the same thing when the black man's up there doing his thing, man.
You're quoting
when Obama was up there. Oh, Obama
again.
Obama, he's not. Let's be happy for the black man. If he gets in trouble, then
let's be happy for the black man that also sold out other black men and got them killed.
What? Who? Again,
if anything,
right?
If anything,
this is the research that we do. Yes, allegedly though, until I see it, hey, this is proof that blah blah. blah. That's like, damn, okay, you're right. All this alleged
the evidence is damning. Court documents are damning. And again, this person that he has working with him, his head of security, Fahim Muhammad.
How many times?
Same dude. This is the same guy.
Ex-band member.
This is the same guy, Fahim Muhammad, that was one of the first people on the scene when Michael Jackson got killed. First people on the scene.
Hey, maybe
he just so happens to have connections with the police like that.
Maybe we need to talk to him.
If you could get to him, sure. If Diddy's a protected man, what you think what? Then he gonna give you a straight answer? Come on, man. But look.
No, I don't think so. But I feel like here, if I'm in front of him, I'll know. Because there's times I've been around people where it's like, okay, just get me in a room with them, I'll know. If they start doing that weirdo stuff, it's like, damn, okay, now I've never been in the room with the dude. I'm not gonna take the word of someone else because it's like you have other people giving other words like, no, I can fend for this guy. He's not like that. You got other people like, nah, of course you got haters. You got people who like you. It's like until I see you, it's like okay.
Look, you're right. I respect that sentiment. I respect that line of thinking. However, the only thing I will say is you could have that line of thinking and not completely incriminate somebody without meeting them first, but as any sane person, you still have to take into considerations these allegations that have been going on for 30 years.
They're considered.
You've considered them?
They're considered.
You seem like somebody that would not have a problem, just taking a sip of Ciroc when he pours you some.
I won't. I won't.
That's the way it be coming off, man.
I won't. I will bring the bottle like, hey, man, I'm a fan, so I got your Ciroc. I bought it. Here, let's,
I mean, yeah, look. If the time comes, I guess we'll see. I'm just not on the boat. Look, I'm on the boat where it's like, look, man, put this motherfucker in jail already, bro. Because at the end of the day, the way I see it is he's one of the gatekeepers of the music industry. He's one of the main people that's pushing this type of destructive shit on not just like impressionable minds in general, but specifically even to like the black community and glamorizing this type of bullshit. Rapper? When you sign somebody like Sexy Red, okay. At that point, it's just like, hey, man, what are you doing? What is this? What the hell is this, man? Where did you find this bitch? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
It's just very disrespectful. I'm tired of it, man. Look, I'm on the boat. I think he killed Tupac. I think he killed Biggie. I think anytime an artist gets too big and becomes a person of too much influence, he plays a part in getting rid of that person in the industry.
Yeah, hey, again, you might be right. We don't know, but until we see facts, evidence. Or maybe you're not on the evidence side, but
y'all want some entertainment? Go on Twitter, go on Instagram, just go on Diddy's page, man. Look at the comments. The ones that don't have the comments turned off. And by the way, anybody that turned the comments off, that's a sign within itself, all right? Just go look at that.
Maybe some people
look at what the people think.
Want to guard their
look what the
mental
people
health.
think, man.
They want to guard their mental health because people are gonna be like, oh, blah 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 blah, and you're just like, I don't want to hear it,
You want to be his lawyer? You want him?
Hey, Diddy, hit me up. I don't have a degree for lawyers, but I'm really good. I can do it.
Look, man. Again, it's just the same old pattern. Okay, It's this culture that's been embedded in the music industry, in the entertainment industry. You know, like even when Ryan Garcia was talking about it, it's like the worst type of leverage you can have on somebody is catching them doing some nefarious things with children involved. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like he was kind of talking about that whole Bohemian Grove thing. Okay, there's always some type of spiritual thing tied into this shit. There's some type of demon god that they're always like trying to praise when you get to the root of it. And like with Bohemian Grove, even with like, just look at the symbolism and the pattern, all right? When you see an owl sign, okay, like in the Bohemian Grove, they have a huge wooden owl that they go and they offer sacrifices to, an effigy, they call it. An effigy, like they call it a mock child sacrifice, by the way. Anytime y'all gotta seclude yourself in the middle of the woods as grown-ass men, okay, putting on robes, all right? And people that are in government, they all government and places of influence, they all go over there and they all do this shit, okay? And they say it's a mock, all right? When you do stuff like that, it's already a red flag within itself, okay? So the way that most of these people communicate, they have to communicate through symbolism. So whenever you see that owl symbol, a la the OVO sign right here, when you see an owl, when you go to West Hollywood, there's a hotel over there called the White Owl. It's also a congregation place for people like this, man. It's a symbolism to communicate to everybody else that are in the same cult. Hey, this is where we congregate. We cool with that stuff here. Meet us over here Thursday nights at 2 a.m. and wear a mask when you come.
Have you ever went?
I've done research.
Why haven't you ever went?
I'm a man of God.
For research.
For
that's
research
what I'm talking
purposes?
about. That's my type of research.
Okay,
When I'm
I'll
talking
tell you
about
what.
Journalism, like
I am cool with doing research until it gets to the point where they need to prick my blood.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, though.
I'm cool with doing research until it gets to the point where you're going to try to put
you got those cameramen who actually go to the war and, like, get into the grit. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to make a decision or, you know, decide on something or make a...
You bring up a good point.
Because I want to get... That's why I'm like, Diddy, come on. Like, I want to actually get into the danger zone that you got. Oh, Diddy's dangerous. You want to get into a room with him by yourself? Yeah, put me in a room by myself with Diddy. So that way I'm like, okay, I'm done with the line. Let me really see how this line is. Is it really as dangerous as you guys are saying?
Look,
that's my research. And then I'll come back, survive, like, hey, guys.
Surviving Diddy part 5.
Surviving Diddy, like, hey, this is how it really went down. So that's what I'm talking about. Let's go to the White Owl, put on the mask. Like, no one ain't going to know who we...
Look.
Put on the mask. Yeah, I'm here for the White Owl.
If you want to do that expose, and you're prepared...
I'm trying to do it for our fans.
You could do that.
For the audience, for
I'll tell you what. I'll be the dude on the radio. I'll be the dude on the earpiece on the other side, okay? I'll guide you.
Yeah, you'll know
now,
exactly
if it gets to the point where somebody trying to, you know, ram something up your booty or some shit like that, I'm the first one on the call. You know,
abort mission. Yeah,
abort mission. I'm calling the cops. The fuck? If I can't call the cops, man, if they in on it too, you know, I'll figure something out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no cops involved. But yeah, that's the type of research I'm talking about.
But look, it just again. This culture has been going on for way too long for it to be a coincidence. And he's fulfilling all of the signs, the telltale signs of the same people that practice it. The man is a puppet, okay? That's undeniable. He is a puppet, all right? He is, and like, I don't even want him to go, like, if he goes to jail for these, you know, this degenerate shit that he's done, you know, that's cool. I'd be cool with him just going to jail in general for the part that he plays in just poisoning the culture, just poisoning like the people that listen to his music. Because that does, if anything, that does more damage long term.
Every rapper or
where are they? Where is it seated? Have you noticed how rap changed since the late 90s? Since Bad Boy came in?
NWA has nothing to do with it?
NWA was the pot stirrer. Yes. NWA was the pot stirrer for that.
Who else was it?
Ever since 1991. If you look into
D-Max maybe at that time. I mean,
that's after 1991.
There were other people.
Anything after 1991, shit started becoming more and more degenerate and glorifying this type of stuff.
If anything, Diddy was more like classy.
You gotta be fucked up with that statement, man. Huh? What the hell you talking about?
All his songs were like for movies. Bad Boy.
So look, you brought up a good point. You think it's classy.
Rush Hour 2?
Bro,
I'll be missing
look, you think it's classy because they were able to use that music, put it in a movie to propagandize it.
That's a banger right there. It was all bangers, man.
And they were able to embed that song into your mind during that impressionable
it's
time
a nice song.
to where now you think it's classy. It is a good song. It's a good. I like that song too. I like that song. It is a good song. But then I think about the details of that song. It's like, this motherfucker disgusting. You killed your man's.
Sure.
And then you got the audacity to make a song and profit off it.
The song is still good though. But is the song good though?
Dude, I'm not even gonna argue that. A lot of Poisonous music is good songs.
At this point, it's like, we know the sacrifices are happening, but is the music good though?
But that's the power of music. It only takes a good beat and a good hook to make a very powerful song. You could say a bunch of Poison shit on it, but that's the thing about it. When music is good and it sounds good, it's undeniable. It's influential. And when you weaponize that and you use it towards a certain community, at that point, it's like, it's like being a superhero, man. You got this power. You could use it for good. You could use it for bad. These people have a lot of influence, and they're using it for a certain agenda.
Sure.
He's a sellout. That's all I could say. He'll look, you could have a good friendship with him if you meet him and stuff. He'll sell you out in a heartbeat. I guarantee you that. But
I hope it's not true, Mr. Diddy, sir. I hope it's not true.
Mr. Diddy, man. You call Mr. Diddy? Oh, man. Stop, bro. God damn, man. Yo, people in the comments, just, if you know, go at it. But one of the people, speaking of sellouts, okay, one of the people that was doing a good job doing this expose on Diddy, okay, because sometimes you got to give people their flowers, all right? A lot of people labeled Candace Owens as a sellout. A lot of people, when she first came out and started talking what she was talking, everybody called her everything in the book, man, just because she wanted to go against the narrative. And it can come off as her just talking disparagingly towards black people and stuff like that. You could say a lot of things about her. Can you call her a liar, though? Coming full circle? Because it looks like right now, with the way, Candace Owens is kind of trending. She just went on the Joe Budden podcast. She's getting a lot more favorability coming back. It's like that Anti-Hero arc, you know what I'm saying? Because she was getting villainized for so long, and now it's come full circle where it's like, hey, was she lying? Or was she speaking truth to what? Because she's talking about the Diddy thing. She's talking about this stuff going on in Israel, Palestine. Okay. She's talking about these people, calling them out. Who's behind it? By the way, she works in a network, Daily Wire, run by Ben Shapiro. Having the balls to not only work for that dude's publication, but to also still call those people out. Now, more than likely, she won't get fired after her contract's up. More than likely. But you got to respect this whole time, all these people that was villainizing her, especially from the black community, saying like she's a sellout. She's against her people. It's so ironic because in reality, she's the one that's doing the most for her people for calling out.
Okay.
Has she not? Because
No.
when she went and she did that whole thing with the whole George Floyd incident, was that what the reality of the situation? Was that incident not used as a manipulation tactic to get people behind that BLM movement? Okay, to get people behind that movement, and now people are donating money to this cause, and then them taking that money, and she did the whole documentary on it, looking at where those funds went. It didn't go to any black causes. They stole money, and the bitch that ran that whole organization, she lives about 10 minutes away from where I live at, a big old $1 million house in Hollywood.
Isn't that what happens with every corporation, though?
So you're going to play this game, man? Is that what happens with everybody?
Isn't that what happens to every... I mean, she's not spitting real facts. Like,
she is spitting real facts.
Or not real facts, but she ain't spitting anything we haven't heard already.
People haven't heard that until she actually exposed it.
But it happens all the time. How many commercials do you see? Oh, she's running for governor, but the money that she says go into her campaign actually went to her sister who's a drunk driver to pay for her DUIs. It's like, yeah, this happens all the time. You
can say that, but at the same time, it doesn't make it right.
What are you really saying? You're just trying all you're trying to do is put a flashlight on, blacks are not really doing what they're supposed to do. It's like, just stop it.
Well, this one thing, you could say that what they shouldn't do. But the thing about what I've noticed from actually like watching her content in an unbiased manner, she doesn't just say that and criticize. She offers solutions along with that, and then she also points to the problems of where this issue is coming from.
She's like that the black girl in high school that thinks she's better than all the black guys because she's cool with the white girls. That's the energy that she gives off. The way that she talks, kind of condescending, like blah, 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 trying to be like, oh, I'm being nice, but she's actually being bitchy in a sense, you know.
I agree.
And then isn't she married?
Before you get to that,
married?
listen. Before you get to that, I agree.
I'm not.
No. Hear me out. I agree with you to that point. To where, like, before I listened to her content, the way that she talks and the way that it was coming off, I got the same sentiment too. Yeah, I was like, oh, you're the type of you one of them black girls that really, you wish your skin was bleached, like I got that vibe initially until I started listening to what she was saying. And this is one of my big indications. This is one of my big indications to kind of notice if somebody is really about it or controlled opposition. Okay. She named them. She called them out. She named them people. All right.
Okay. That's good. I will say this. She has guts. She's spunky. She's gonna say her mind, but that's
spunky.
That's the black.
Pause. Go ahead.
That's the black, that's the black in her. Black women are strong and powerful. They're going to get their point across. She got that, which she's going to have. So, you applaud her for that. But other than that, it's like you're just kind of being that voice for the other side to where it's like, oh, let's have a black face for that side that is, that has her opinions. Because there is a demographic for those black people who think those Uncle Ruckus types. You know what I mean?
I can't equate her to that because it's like there's certain she doesn't.
Isn't she married?
She is married
to a white guy.
She is married to a white guy.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's that one dude from the Moondocks who was married to a white girl?
Tom.
Yeah.
Now look.
So I don't. Nah,
look. Nah. You have opened.
We all love Tom. We all love Tom. But at the end of the day,
I only fuck with Tom like that.
At the end of the day, Usher took his girl. So yeah.
I mean, Usher could take anybody's girl at the end of the day. But here's the thing. I do understand which phenomenon that you are pointing to. Because that phenomenon, the black woman married to a white guy thing, where they can possibly be used as a tether attack dog to attack the black community.
That's what I'm saying. They like, oh, she's got spunk. She's spunky.
Right.
She's a spunky monkey.
What you're alluding to is the Malika Andrews phenomenon. Okay, Malika Andrews. Here's the difference part here. Malika Andrews teeters towards this other side of the political ideology.
Right? I think we should save that because that's another topic we can actually go into, the whole phenomenon of.
You want to say that for some other time?
Yeah, let's just say that for another. Yeah, the whole Candace. I feel like she's your barrier breaker for this month. Safe to say.
Yeah, she is. Because at the end of the day, man, like she went through a lot of shit, but she was able to fulfill. She went through that same rite of passage as Kyrie, as Kanye.
No.
She did. She got totally like disparaged by both sides of the community, by not only the black community, but also everybody else starting to come down and rain up on her. Why? Because she
just needed time to settle in.
That's no.
Because again, she's a black girl with white people.
If you listen to her content,
the white people were like, wait, she's black. They needed time to kind of listen first and be like, oh wait, okay, she's actually cool. Compared to the Bobby Atinoff girl, everyone was like, oh, because she's a white girl, right? She was like, oh, everyone was like, oh, quickly, let's get into what she's doing. But also, what was she talking about? Nothing. She wasn't talking about politics or anything serious, right? It was just entertainment to distract people. So I do applaud Candace Owens. She's actually talking about real politics issues in the world. So if you want to give her a barrier breaker of the month, I'm cool with it. I applaud that for her.
I need to give you pushback on the comparison that you just made right now. Because with Candace Owens, when you look at, and again, you speaking from not even like checking out her content, I'm going to just tell you right now.
I've seen some of her videos.
You see some of her videos. That's how I know. You see some of her videos.
Am I supposed to watch all of her stuff?
Not all of her stuff, but I was able to kind of at least do my research
I've seen her TED Talks and her,
okay, but I was able to notice this. Is she really about it? She had the same consistent ideology as what she had from almost 10 years ago. She's had the same energy.
Yeah, she's a soldier.
The only ideology, the only political, stance that she changed up was her sentiments towards Israel and its, relations with the United States. And now I could consider her somebody 10 toes down with it. And those same people that go against that agenda and call them people out are the same ones that are always Again, goes back to that same quote. You want to find out the people that own the world? It's those same people that you can't talk about. And she's over here going against the grain on all that stuff. Now, that being said, again, she is somebody of influence in the media. Me personally, knowing how the media is, they're going to have people like this that will speak a lot of truth to feed into that fringe community as well. You can't
and also
totally
stir up the pot and make people upset.
Right. You can't totally go
when
ahead.
You say, "Oh, deadbeat black men in the black community," blah blah blah. It's like, oh, come on, man.
I mean, but when she says that, is she lying though?
Okay, so it's like when Trump says, "Oh yeah, black shoes, the black kid's gonna love this." Oh, are they lying though?
Did Trump actually say that, or is that something that you're like putting together just because the dude released some shoes?
Come on, man.
See, you're gonna
the same way you say, "Oh, I saw Diddy talk about it." Same way I know Trump said that actually.
What you mean? What you talking about?
The same way you said, Diddy said or, was acting, touchy with some dude is the same way I know Trump said that.
Okay, but here's the thing with Diddy. There's receipts that can back up
we have
the way that he
Trump.
acts.
We know how Trump talks, how he thinks, when he's with his people.
Yeah, but Trump hasn't done shit that's like compromising towards doing something to actual like kids and children and drugging people and, murder. You got what I'm trying to say?
We're just talking about the fact that, yes, you can say, oh, for black people, is it not true or is it not?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Candace, all right? This is the thing that I respect with her. Because I'm somebody that's like, I'm cool with the harsh truth. Things don't hurt my feelings, Also, I fuck with anybody that could say it like it is and not care about what other people think and is 10 toes down with the truth, okay? And she just puts it out there. That's why I fuck with her. I fuck with her because at the end of the day, when you stick with the truth long enough and you know it's the truth, more often than not, the truth prevails. Everything is coming full circle with her right now because all the shit that she was saying in the past that people would consider as so out of pocket, ignorant, racist, it's coming full circle. Those same people that was on that aisle, now they're like, I mean, shit, it is what it is.
I guess time will
Does
tell.
this community not deal with a lot of fatherlessness? Does this community not deal with a lot of
Yeah, but we all know that. That's the thing. Like, we all know that. So why put it on blast on your own people? Why not instead, let's just try and fix it instead of putting people,
Yeah, she's giving you solutions too.
We can understand if a white person were to because that's their job, put it on blast. So it's like, okay, let's shed some light on this and, point a finger at it. But your own people, let's,
But
same thing with the Cat Williams thing. It's like, just,
again,
don't put it on blast.
Again,
like,
you missing the point.
Fix it. Let's not just say, oh, this person was doing this. Like,
there you go.
Let's not bring people down.
See, this is the distinction between those two, between them. That not only do they point out the problem, and it can sound a little disparaging, they give you the solutions to fix that problem as well. And sometimes when the harsh truth comes out and it requires you to take accountability, you can't get over that hurdle of trying to take accountability.
If they were giving solutions, then people would like them. They would agree. But I will say this, time will tell. You said that once her contract runs out in a couple months or whatever.
Look, even if she loses her job with Daily Wire, somebody going to pick her up.
That's what I'm saying. If she doesn't get picked up, okay. If she does get picked up, cool.
Even if she don't get picked up,
if she doesn't get picked up,
YouTube. If she starts her own YouTube channel, she's going to be more.
We'll see. That's what I'm saying. We'll see. We'll keep a pin on that.
Hey, look, Candace, you got my approval. All right. There's a lot of people waking up to. Let's see right here.
Diddy right here. Candace.
Please educate this man over here. All right.
That way you can put space
I just want to point out
the
reality of the situation over here. Okay, you with that little owl sweater on. This man is giving more benefit of the doubt to Diddy, Fruit Booty Diddy, than Candace Owens.
Hey,
this is the reality. See, he is. And I'm sorry, man, but you are like a epitomization of the ignorant side of the black community right now, man.
Oh man,
unfortunately. And what is the common? What is the commonality? What's the common trait?
Them like that, man. I'm for everybody.
What is the common trait right here? You have not watched her content.
I've seen her content
to understand.
I've seen her.
You've seen TikToks here and there. You haven't
seen her.
necessarily.
I don't even watch TikTok. I've actually seen her content, and it's just her opinion on stuff. The same way anyone else has an opinion on stuff.
The only person, one of the few people in the actual.
I will say this. Go in the comments. #black hat. #white hat. How do you feel about Ryan Garcia? Do you feel like this is all for promo, all his conspiracy stuff, talking about Bohemian Grove stuff, or is he really onto something? When it comes to the whole Diddy situation, do you really think he's doing all this fruit booty stuff, Or is he just being some mafia boss, just doing what it would take?
Mafia.
He's at that level. He can just do whatever he wants. And also let us know your opinions on Candace Owens. You can see her content on YouTube. She has her own YouTube channel. She has all her videos on there.
Look.
And let us know how you feel about her. But we will talk more about, like I said, time will tell, what's going to happen. In a couple months, we're going to see if she gets picked up or she does, the hype is still around her.
Listen, I'm going to say this right now, all right?
All right, real quick.
This isn't even setting like a high bar. Candace Owens has done more for the black community than Barack Obama.
Okay.
I'm going to say that right now.
Start the show, right?
I'm going to say that right now.
But no, man. Yeah. Thank you guys for being with us again for this episode. We're going to keep moving along, man. This was a fun one. So, like I said, we're going to catch up with you guys next time. Thanks for being with us. Hit us up on Fourth Wall Show on Instagram. Hit us up on our respective tags at CJ_the_kid. And
Toss got some sauce on IG, man.
And if we don't see you guys next time, good morning, good afternoon, good night.